Get this, one 40-minute infrared sauna session is the equivalent to running 6 to 9 miles caloric-wise. So you can burn up to 600 calories in one infrared sauna session. It really helps with anxiety, mental health, and supporting not only on that deeper level, but they're 7 times more detoxifying than traditional saunas. And we talk about these things that are in our food system or, that we're consuming, or heavy metals that we're consuming that we have no control over, right? It's like the saunas really help at that like super deep detoxification. So not only that, but at the same time, the way that the infrared heat works is it's that slow radiant heat. And so what happens is it lowers your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone, and it actually boosts oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. So
welcome back to the COS Business Podcast, #1 podcast in Colorado Springs.
Today, our highlighted sponsor is Storybook Destinations.
But today we have a very special guest. She was actually just on not too long ago, I think about 6 months ago now. So it's good to have you back in a new hat that you're wearing. Specifically, it's Elise Nicole Kirkpatrick. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
Yes, absolutely. And you're with Beamlight Sauna Briargate this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a cool new business that's opened up in the Briargate area, obviously. Tell us a little bit about the business. It's been, just making a lot of noise. It's been around since about August, right?
Yeah, so we actually just opened our doors to the general public in December, but we've been in pre-launch since, June, July, the summer, really got it going. In August, we are a full spectrum infrared sauna and medical grade red light therapy studio spa.
My goodness. And so talk a little bit more about that, because that's a mouthful for sure. But like a lot of folks, at least our age group, they know a lot about these types of places, right? But some of the older generations, they might not know. But the therapy itself is just amazing. So let's kind of break it down. Like first, maybe red light or infrared, whatever one you want to tackle first. And I know there's another one in there too, chromotherapy, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about those different services.
Yeah, totally. So the biggest thing to know about infrared saunas and people, I typically ask when someone comes in, what experience do you have with saunas, right? Most people are going to say, oh, I love the sauna at my gym. Well, the saunas at the gym are using just air to heat your body. So they heat the air around you, 190, 210 degrees, and basically they're just heating the skin. And that's what makes you hot. It actually kind of stresses your body out just a little bit. And that's what makes you sweat in those saunas. If you've ever have you sat in saunas like that before? Yeah. So that we're like, oh my gosh, I can last maybe 5 more minutes in here before I have to get out. Total time in there is maybe 10 minutes. Infrared saunas heat the body using invisible light waves. The invisible light spectrum is infrared light waves. And that's right before you get to the visible light spectrum. And so because it's heating the body with this radiant heat, much lower temperature, 135 to 145. And what's happening there is the infrared light waves are penetrating into the body, heating from the core out. And so you have a deeper sweat, deeper detoxification, but much less stressful on the body. And so when people are asking the differences between them, our sauna sessions are 40 minutes long.
Yeah, I was going to say a little longer, right?
Yeah. If I'm there by myself, I'm known to the timer will go off and I'll stay another, 10 minutes in there because I'm comfortable. And so that's kind of the biggest difference between traditional saunas and infrared saunas. And so what we have is solo saunas that are for one person. And that's the majority of our saunas. They're all in private suites. So it's completely yours. The door locks. You can dress down to your comfort level in there. And then we have 2 social saunas. The social saunas are built for 2 people, comfortably seats 2. And it's never going to be somebody you don't know. It would be someone you book with. But it's a really fun thing to kind of bring a partner in, a friend in, and you can sauna together. So our saunas are really cool because they have gone above and beyond to make them not only custom, we have Bluetooth speakers in them that are Bose speakers with surround sound. Each one comes with an iPad with Pandora, Netflix, the Calm Meditation app. Like you had said, they have chromotherapy in them. We'll get into that. You get a complimentary towel service, a cool mint towel when you come in. I mean, it's really luxury for what you're getting for a quick spa experience that you get to be a part of.
So cool. And that's the same as like is red light a little bit different as well?
Yeah, so red light's different in the way that our saunas are full spectrum, meaning that they have near, mid, and far infrared light waves. The best way to remember that really is that near infrared light is kind of your skin. It's going to penetrate into the epidermis, dermis. Mid kind of goes into the muscle and gets a little bit deeper into the tendons and our joints. And then far goes into the mitochondria, into the cell, into really like the smallest pieces of our body that help keep us functioning well. And then red light therapy is more so focused on near red light, infrared light. And so red is the first color on the visible light spectrum. It's basically the good light waves we need from the sun, and it really helps with that cell turnover. And so the red light is more focused on that near infrared light. So the benefits are a little bit different for the two.
We'd like to take a quick break and thank our sponsors.
Lowry Veterans Law. That's perfect.
Lowry Veterans Law is a nationwide veterans disability firm based in Colorado. Their VA-accredited attorneys specialize in TDIU unemployability, PTSD, and secondary service connection claims.
They work on contingency, no upfront fees, so they only get paid when you do.
If the VA hasn't given you the rating you deserve, get a free case evaluation at LowryVeteransLaw.com or call 719-895-6979.
Planet Duct. Planet Duct is the #1 choice for professional air duct cleaning in Colorado Springs and Southern Colorado. With state-of-the-art equipment and top-tier service, they make sure the air in your home or business is clean and allergen-free. Breathe easier with Planet Duct. Learn more at planetduct.com.
Franchise Succeed. Looking to invest in a franchise or grow your current one? The experts at Franchise Succeed help you navigate the world of franchising with proven strategies and guidance. Whether you're a first-time owner or scaling a franchise empire, they're here to help. Visit franchisesucceed.com to get started. That's franchisesucceed.com.
Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care. Pinnacle Advanced Primary Care offers affordable, accessible healthcare with a focus on you. They provide exceptional primary care without the hassle of insurance barriers. Experience a patient-centered approach. Learn more at pinnacleapc.com.
Celebrity DJ. Make your next event unforgettable with Celebrity DJ. From weddings to corporate events, they deliver energy and entertainment that keeps the party going. Visit celebrity-dj.com to book your DJ today.
Storybook Destinations. Turn your dream vacation into a reality with Storybook Destinations. They specialize in creating custom travel experiences from Disney vacations to bucket list adventures. Start planning today at StorybookDestinations.com. That's StorybookDestinations.com.
Awesome Home Services. Awesome Home Services delivers top-notch HVAC solutions for your home. Whether you need heating, cooling, or system maintenance, they ensure your comfort year-round. Visit awesomeservice.com for your HVAC needs. That's awesomeservice.com. And now let's get back to the show. Yeah, for sure. That's really interesting. I already have a lot of questions, but let's get into all the other ones because I know there's a lot of questions already coming up with. So what is chromotherapy?
Yeah, so chromotherapy is using the visible light spectrum basically for vibes. So have you ever heard how someone will say to you, oh, if you wear yellow, you'll be more chipper and happy, or people will paint, a kitchen red or orange and it'll make you hungry. Mm-hmm. So basically that's the easiest way to understand chromotherapy is different colors emit different emotions in us. And when they evoke those different emotions in us, then we feel a certain way. So when you come into the sauna, you have a button in there that you can change through 8 different chromotherapy colors. Each color, it's on the glass. It'll tell you what each color means so you can choose. I usually sit in yellow or orange because it helps me be more productive and just lifts my spirits. But, there's colors for sleep. There's colors for anxiety. There's colors for calming your nervous system or uplifting or what have you. So the chromotherapy is in addition to the infrared. And the biggest question we get is there red light inside of the infrared saunas? So the answer to that is there's red chromotherapy in the saunas, but there's not medical grade red light therapy in our saunas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then so when we're talking about like someone going into red light therapy, it's like that. It looks kind of like a tanning booth, kind of like you like lay down in it and it kind of shuts down on you. Is that kind of like the red light therapy booths that you guys have then?
So our red light therapy beds are actually bougie luxury massage therapy beds that have a remote on them. And the panel is over the bed. You lay down on the bed and then you use the remote to elevate yourself up to the panels. So the reason we do this is because you want to be 6 to 8 inches away from that panel. A lot of these like tanning bed kind of red light therapies, first of all, they're usually not medical grade. And second of all, you really have to be close to it. And so if you're not, if you're there and it's like out here and your body is here, you're not getting the benefits as much. So that's why our beds actually elevate up to it and you're one hand length away from that panel.
That's
So
cool.
Yeah.
So what's some of the target demographic that of folks who are coming in that you're seeing? I know you're pretty new business. You've been around about 5 months now. Who are the folks who are coming in and that are seeing the benefits right out of the gate? Is it like a young professional group, or is it more so like an older group? Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, you would be surprised. It is all across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have had our doors opened in early December. And so we've really been open for a month and a week or so. And we have had every kind of person come in. Our target demographic for Beamlight Sauna Corporate is typically 75% women.
Mm-hmm.
However, our client base here in Colorado Springs is pretty half and half. I really think that has to do with the fact that Colorado is such an active community. And we have a lot of athletes that are here. We have a lot of people who are just out and about, and really, it's a health conscious city, you know?
Really is, yeah.
So, anything from teenagers who are coming in the youngest age we allow is 15. And so we have teenagers that are 15 coming in after football practice or, wrestling practice. We have runners that are teens coming in. We also have just teens coming in because their mom or like dad is saying, hey, this is great for your mental health. Because we see a lot of mental health stuff in teenagers. As far as like age range, it goes all the way up to, we have some people that we help walk through the door because
That's crazy.
they
That's
are,
awesome.
in their elder years
Yeah.
and they're coming in to experience the benefits of it. I mean, do you know what JAMA is? The Journal of American Medical Association. So they did a study on basically longevity and heart health. And the study basically was between us and Finland together. They did a 20-year study on men, and they followed 2,300 men for 20 years with infrared sauna use in Finland.
Nice.
And what they saw was the men who were using infrared sauna multiple times a week had much lower cardiac, issues, and also much higher longevity than the men who didn't. And it was a very, very stark contrast of seeing the difference between the two. And so that's really kind of like trickling into the United States, and people are hearing that it helps with Alzheimer's, it helps with memory, it helps with sleep, cognitive function, and really helping the body be at its optimal, productivity and in the mitochondria. And so I think that for that reason alone, we just have everyone across the board coming in.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you if there's any studies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If you Google infrared light or red light therapy, there's tens of thousands of studies out. I mean, it's all over podcasts and this one.
Yeah.
And it's all over, in bookstores and magazines and articles published. I mean, it's everywhere. And the thing is, you guys, this is not a new thing. It's more new to the United States, but people in all sorts of countries, Germany, Finland, Amsterdam, they've been using infrared saunas for longer than I've been alive. And I won't tell you how old I am.
Yeah, because you'd think there would be concerns, and there's probably are concerns. And because related to the light, and like UV rays can be harmful, which is like a step lower than the infrared, right?
Yeah, we
And-
don't have UV rays at all.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I could imagine how like it could raise some quote unquote red flags for some people. But yeah, so it sounds like there's been some pretty good science on it, like that it's not cancerous like UV rays. I don't know what the studies are for like sun tanning beds, but I think the consensus is those are bad for you, right?
Mhm. Yeah. And you both know I'm a veteran.
Mhm.
When I was stationed in Alaska, they were prescribing us tanning beds
Oh, that makes sense.
because
Yeah.
we're up there.
Mhm.
I was an engineer in the engine room and I didn't see the sunlight
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
the only hours that the sun was out when I was up there, I was working in the engine room. Right. And
Mhm.
so I didn't see the sun. So what they did was they would tell us, go to the tanning bed for like 5-7 minutes a day. Well, then
Mhm.
my pasty ass is in there like burning because I'm going and there's UVB, lights in there that are not good for the skin, to your
Mhm.
point. So this is what I love so much about laying in the red light beds at Beam is that it feels like you are on a beach laying in the sun. You're, feeling the heat of it. You're feeling the light that's hitting you, and you know that it's actually helping your skin versus harming your skin. So red light therapy actually helps to heal skin
Mhm.
issues, including sunburn,
Why is that?
because it's helping with the cell turnover and
Okay.
and helping your mitochondria to work better
Does it
in
just
your body.
energize the mitochondria, or like?
Yeah,
what is
so
the
it
function of
penetrates in and basically just helps it to. So if we want to get really nerdy here.
Oh yeah, I love getting nerdy.
So it helps with adenosine triphosphate,
Yeah,
which
ATP.
is, so ATP, it helps with ATP production and that helps with the mitochondria to work better.
Okay.
So if you kind of break it down, that's how it breaks down. And then because of that, it's helping that cell turnover to replenish your cells, to help with, sloughing up anything that's not benefiting your body or supporting the health of your body and helping turn over new cells that are healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Do you know Gary Brecka and his work at all?
No,
Have you heard
I
of
don't.
him? He has that 10x Health. He's become he's a big person who's pro infrared and red light therapy for sure. Especially among men, young men. He has a lot of clientele who have recently come his way, like Dana White of the UFC, Stephen A. Smith of ESPN, like very big celebrities, and they like sing his praises and always have him on their podcast just because of like the benefits of, again, those types of things that he's been rolling out, which is very similar to what you're talking about. And again, it's been around for a long time. It's just insane to think about. So there's a lot of data to back all this stuff. And it's just really cool to see, especially from like a man's perspective, like seeing that kind of come into our world. It's not the first time you've probably heard of infrared or red light therapy, right? Like we've been hearing about it in just like our things that we listen to.
I don't know if I've heard infrared. Like,
Oh, really?
maybe I've heard it, but I just wasn't paying attention. But I've seen the red light stuff going around. I know it's been trending the last year or two, in the United States at least, red light therapy.
Yeah, and it's just really interesting now with like the scope of the springs. Like, is this one of the first places in the springs to have something like this as well?
It is the first
Nice.
Very
that
cool.
is a dedicated infrared sauna red light therapy studio. There are definitely places in the springs that have infrared saunas and have red light therapy. And what I found, as I shared previously with you before we were recording here, is I actually found Beam because I was healing from mold toxicity. And when I was looking, I had some options, right? And there's places around town, and those places are great. If that's what you can do and that's what's accessible to you, amazing. However, what I find is that one infrared sauna session at any of these places around town is $65, $75 for 40, 45 minutes. And we have memberships where you can come unlimited a number of times for less than $200 a month.
Wow.
So for me, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Mhm.
And it's dedicated where you come in, it's like you're on a time clock. You're not fighting 20 other people to use that one sauna because we have 10 saunas. So we're turning people over, left and right. in there. And so to me, it was like, that's genius, right? To have that. And so we are the first of our kind here. And there will be other places because this is kind of a trending thing that's coming up.
That's so cool. And then you personally, like, I mean, especially from your last time you're on here, you've always suck out like alternative or holistic kind of therapy. Where does that come from with you? How come, like, is it because you're in the military and then again, you had like the UV bed and you're like, we're prescribed all these crazy, like, institutionalized types of, therapies in the past? So why have you suck out so much great new trendy things and things that are probably gonna be instilled for a long time, but like, where does that come from with you?
Yeah, it comes from the mental health perspective. So clinically diagnosed with PTSD, and I find that the Band-Aid solutions with, things that are not good for us cause more harm. And then you go deeper down the rabbit hole and you may, slap on that Band-Aid for a little while and you feel better for a few months, maybe a year or two. But then later down the road, you realize that you dug yourself a deeper hole. So for me, root cause is always where it's at. It's like the food we eat, removing glyphosate from our food, making sure we're not eating those pesticides, making sure that, we're eating things that help with our metabolism. I do believe, if you've ever read the book Good Energy by Casey Means, our crisis in the United States is really a metabolism crisis because our body can't handle all of the toxic things, whether it's what we put in our body or what we're surrounded with, or even what we're listening to, what we tune into, how our conversations are going, our stress levels. It all affects our metabolism. And so for me, it's like, if I know what the root is, then I can kind of address all these other things so that I don't have to go back later. It's kind of like thinking of it like this, is like there's healthcare and then there's sick care. And true healthcare is the root cause of things. And sick care is Band-Aid now, worry about it later. But your later is not guaranteed.
That's a great way to put it, for sure. I mean, it's so important to go upstream rather than, like you said, a Band-Aid solution for so much. You definitely need to tune into Gary Brecker because he talks literally about all that. And he has a clinical biologist background. That's what he was. And then he worked for like one of the largest health insurance agencies in the world. And he said, like, at that point, like, they had it all dialed in so well that they can pretty much predict almost to the day when people are going to die 20 years from now. And that, again, this is health insurance. They hedge their bet against like your health. So that's kind of how they make their money. And it's just so insane. And you're like, everything regarding metabolism that you just said was just so spot on to what he was saying and some of the things he's been talking about as well. So there's definitely some parallels lining up with a lot of new age ways of thinking. And just like, it's so insane to me to think about like what you're talking about, especially like with food, because like we all grew up with the same food pyramid, right? Like,
what's a terrible one?
Yeah, the bread's on the bottom, the dairy.
I was going to say that pyramid is messed up.
Yeah,
it's a pyramid scheme, is what it is.
Yeah.
It's insane. And like, I mean, what was that, 20 something years ago? It wasn't that long ago, maybe 30 something years ago.
Yeah, I do believe that the food pyramid came out in the 80s. So Casey talks about that in her book. And she was actually a surgeon, went through, all these years of school. And then when she got to this point where she was watching somebody that they were trying to put a Band-Aid on through surgery, and she was like, I can't do this anymore. So, and that's how I feel is, I can go one of two ways with my own health. And if I can help educate other people that if you can understand the root cause of why you're feeling the way you're feeling and get down to that root level, I'm talking like mitochondrial level, then you're going to see changes versus all these surface level fixes, right? But it's the harder path, so that's the thing, is how willing are you to go down the harder path?
We're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsors. Home Day. Buying a home shouldn't be overwhelming. Home Day empowers you to save on your mortgage by putting you in control of the process. Lower your cost and take the next step towards home ownership with ease. Visit gethomeday.com today.
Fast Signs. From banners to vehicle wraps, Fast Signs delivers custom visual solutions to help your business stand out. Their team ensures your message is clear, bold, and effective. Get your signage needed handled at fastsigns.com. That's fastsigns.com.
Neon Pig Creative. Neon Pig Creative brings your brand to life through exceptional design and creative strategy. Whether you need branding, websites, or marketing materials, they've got you covered. Check them out at neonpigcreative.com. That's neonpigcreative.com.
Epic Eyewear. Stylish, affordable, and designed for adventure, Epic Eyewear has the sunglass and eyewear you need to see life more clearly. From the mountains to the beach, protect your eyes with high-quality frames and lenses. Check out their collection at epiceyewear.com. And by the way, Andrew, we do have a special discount, COSBP 15 for 15% off, I believe.
Cars Helping Charities. Turn your unused cars into a meaningful contribution with Cars Helping Charities. They make it easy to donate your vehicle to support local causes. One of the local charities that we like to support on behalf of Cars Helping Charities, actually, and part of their sponsorship is Mattersville. And check them out too.
They're awesome. They are a tiny house community for veterans suffering with PTSD. They have a property out in Yoder, Colorado, and then they also have one in Sedalia, Colorado as well.
Donate today and make a difference. Visit carshelpingcharities.org. That's carshelpingcharities.org.
Dream Accounting Solutions.
Take the stress out of managing your books with Dream Accounting Solutions. They provide reliable expert accounting services tailored to small businesses. Simplify your finances at dreamaccountingsolutions.com. That's dreamaccountingsolutions.com.
Exponential Impact. Exponential Impact is driving innovation and entrepreneurial success in Colorado Springs. Supporting startups with mentorship, funding, and community resources, they help businesses grow and thrive. Learn more about their impact at exponentialimpact.com. That's exponentialimpact.com.
And now let's get back to the show.
My girlfriend, she suffers a little bit from anxiety, and we have recently rooted it. Speaking of taking the hard path, we've rooted it back to that's why she's having gut issues. In fact, it's actually stemming from the anxiety, which is also stemming from how she eats and all the different things. So it's all kind of this thing that we're starting to figure out. We thought it was just some other thing that we all probably think about, like, oh, you just have gut issues because whatever, you're getting older or whatever it might be, right? And it's just so interesting to know that it all stems from the stuff that we're eating, the microplastics that we've heard about, which is a crazy study, right? Of how much microplastics the average American adult consumes a year is I think they were saying as much as a credit card worth of plastic in a year is what we digest in microplastics every year, and what that does to our whole system, even our bloodstream, which is absolutely insane. So it's so cool that you're in this space right now, especially with a lot of people starting to wake up and understand, and so many different things in the US that are happening as far as new administration taking place in the election period and kind of RFK heading the charge of maybe challenging some of those bigger food corporations and what they're actually putting out there, especially cereals and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, I'm so here for it. I have friends who live in Canada who look at cereals side by side, and they come here and they're like, oh my gosh, what is in your ingredients?
It's profit driven. That's why.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Follow the money. That's all you have to do, people. Follow the money, it's crazy. But yeah, to your point with your girlfriend, this is not an isolated thing. There are so many people experiencing anxiety, more so than we've ever heard about ever in the history of humans, right? And with infrared saunas, this is another thing that's really awesome about it, is it really helps with anxiety, mental health, and supporting not only on that deeper level, but they're 7 times more detoxifying than traditional saunas. And we talk about these things that are in our food system, or, that we're consuming, or heavy metals that we're consuming that we have no control over, right? It's the saunas really help at that super deep detoxification. So not only that, but at the same time, the way that the infrared heat works is it's that slow radiant heat. And so what happens is it lowers your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone, and it actually boosts oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. So when I get out of the sauna, I am a happy little joyful thing bouncing around the studio, just on top of my game. I feel super productive, and I'm sleeping better. Sleep is one of the top things. And when we talk about growth hormone, and I can get into kind of the muscle recovery piece of this, but they all tie together. So when you're in a 40-minute infrared sauna session, it's actually supporting those growth hormones that help your muscles and your tendons to be able to recover faster. And growth hormone actually also helps you sleep better. So when your stress is lower, the growth hormone's helping with your muscles feel like they're more relaxed, right? And then the cortisol levels are less. now you have this recipe for just being a radiant being, right? And kind of coming back to how we're supposed to be. So it really helps to combat all of the things that are creating anxious feelings in us. Something that I learned a long time ago with my therapist 10 years ago was don't identify with your anxiety. Don't ever call it my anxiety, right? Just call it, I'm experiencing anxious feelings, because then you can remove that, right? You can say, okay, I want to remove the anxious feelings and replace it with these feelings. And that's what I love about the sauna and red light therapy is it's scientifically proven to help remove those anxious feelings and replace them with the goodness.
My gosh, that's awesome. I love that. And it kind of feeds into what we're wanting to talk to you about, which are these core benefits. And was there 7 or 6 of them? 6 of them? Was
6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about them, and I have them listed here. Detoxification, pain relief, skin, metabolism, immunity, and stress. Talk a little bit more about that, because I think you're kind of already starting to broach that subject, but it's really interesting that it's part of your core benefits of the business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If you head over to our studio, what you'll see on the glass is we have those 6 core benefits on the glass. Some of them people get really excited about, but I will tell you that the people who come into the studio, everybody's excited about all of them. And, just kind of starting with at the top there, talking about them being detoxifying. So again, we live in a world where there's a lot of toxins around us. And even if you are the healthiest person on the planet and you try everything you do to eat all organic and whatnot, we still have ways that toxins can leach into the body. And so having a way to purify your body, that's what the saunas really do. It's like a purification every time you sit in there for 40 minutes. Really helps your body to work at its utmost highest level. And so detoxification is one of the top things. And with that, this is why we say come in 3 to 5 times a week, because if you will know that it's detoxifying you, because we have members, they were really excited in the beginning and they came in every day and they had detox symptoms. And what that looks like is you can break out, you can feel a little dizzy, a little nauseous if you come in several days in a row. And it's because it's so effective for detox. So that really is one of the top benefits. And it's really kind of there is no specific order for them. But what I like to say is if you're detoxing and you're purifying your body, then all the other benefits work that much better. So the next one that's on there is really about your immunity. And it's not only because of all of the other benefits, but it's because of that mitochondria, right? And helping the cells to be at their highest level of function. And there's also some other things that people ask us, well, people are sweating in these all day. So how are you cleaning them? How are you keeping them, to the standard of cleanliness? And we clean in between each person, and it's a very rigorous cleaning, 21-step cleaning process. However, the cool thing is the saunas actually help us with that, because viruses and bacteria cannot withstand infrared heat above 90 degrees for longer than 30 minutes. Our saunas are on 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So anything that comes in there, it's like that light. You've seen people like clean with lights, right?
UV usually.
Yeah. So even stronger light waves than UV for cleaning is the infrared. So the immunity piece is just really amazing because it helps with blood circulation. And when our blood circulation is flowing well, then our immunity is stronger. And I mean, there's so much that you could go into about that specifically.
I think that's the leading cause still in America of death is cardiovascular issues, heart attack. I mean, all those different things that are still happening in America. And like, this is something directly that can affect that in a positive way. I mean, why not? Right. And it's just so interesting because it's cool to see, like, my father, he recently has had some heart issues as well. And he's been seeking some things like this. He lives in San Antonio, so maybe there's a beam there, or if he comes here, maybe he can check it out. But he would totally be into something like this because he just didn't understand all the deep programming, of a 60-something-year-old man of, he had no idea about nutrition. He had no idea about alternative therapy, none of these different things. do you get folks like that come in and it's almost like a level of deprogramming of like all these things they thought were the right things and they really weren't? Is that the case when people walk in your door as well?
I feel like the people who have come to us have maybe heard about the benefits and it's piqued their interest. I would say that the people who come to us that know nothing and they need a little bit of a wake up, it's because someone else brings them in for a session and they're like, you got to try this, However, it's surprising how many people are on board with how it can help them. And usually it's because someone else told them that, this is going to help you feel better. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to San Antonio, I'm from San Antonio. So, I know there's not one there yet, but they do have them in Dallas. And
That's
I
cool.
wouldn't be surprised if Austin and San Antonio are next for that.
That's cool. You have that inside knowledge right there.
It's a big city not to have something like Beam there. That's crazy.
It is a new franchise. It's only been around 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
So it's growing very quickly.
For sure.
So.
I could imagine, yeah, because the hype around that light therapy has been growing. I can just feel it in the ether.
Yeah.
What's that third benefit?
The what?
Third benefit.
She hit almost all of them, right?
Oh, did you go through all of them?
Skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can keep going. So the next benefit that's there is skin, right? And a lot of people think it's just because you're sweating. It's not. The sweat, great. Sweat will help you glow, helps detoxify, purify, but really the infrared light helps with that cell turnover that I was talking about earlier on. And you'd be surprised. We actually have a beam selfie mirror in the studio because people are literally glowing when they get out of their sessions, and people love to document it because they just feel like they are absolutely glowing. And so we call it beaming. Right? So the skin is something that, you're detoxing, your cell turnover, and that sweat is all helping for the skin to detox. So we see a lot of people who come to us specifically with acne or skin issues, and both the sauna and the red light therapy are really great for that. Further down on your list that you have over there is probably metabolism. This is the one that people go crazy over. So get this, 1 40-minute infrared sauna session is the equivalent to running 6 to 9 miles caloric wise. So you can burn up to 600 calories in 1 infrared sauna session. So
that's gnarly.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So the way that this works, like the science behind it, because everyone's like, what, how, right? The science behind it is the way that the body heats up with radiant heat slowly. It actually gets your heart rate going slowly. And then when you're about halfway through your session, your heart rate is working to help cool the body, to detox, to support all of these other benefits that we're talking about. And so the pain relief, right? It's like helping with muscles, helping with that, sending in the growth hormone factor in there, and all of those things. The heart is working a little bit harder. And this is why infrared saunas are so great for cardiac function, is because it's equal to a workout, but you're just chilling, right? And so if you were to take you still need exercise. I will say this, like, don't take that off the table. You actually want to do both of these things, right? But the way that the metabolism gets going is the heat helps with the gut. Our gut needs that fire. If you look at Ayurvedic and just looking at root causes of things, the gut needs a little bit of fire, a little bit of heat to help that gut microbiome to do its thing. And also at the same time, the heart rate is working together, blood circulation is going, and now you have this perfect recipe for burning calories. And I'm telling you, you can lay there and take a nap and you're still burning calories. That's pretty awesome in my book.
I have a non sequitur that I actually, did you know that just playing chess, you can, like, people in chess tournaments, they'll like burn like 4,000 calories just playing chess, like something
brain
like
power.
That. Yeah. So imagine playing chess in the red.
Let's
in the
do
sauna.
it. I'm down. I have a chess board. I will meet you in the social sauna.
Yeah.
You'd be losing so much, man.
Yeah.
Lost 10 pounds.
Yeah. I love chess. It's a good game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And then the stress. So the biggest thing I believe, and we see this in all of the studies. I mean, if you look up the studies, the cortisol levels right now in our country, cortisol levels are through the roof. Anybody that you talk to who is a functional medicine doctor, root cause expert, they will tell you that 9 times out of 10, if I'll speak to women because I'm a woman, but also like my man Tyler, he's experienced this too. If you have a hormonal imbalance because you have an influx of cortisol, everything else follows suit with that. You gain weight, you have anxiety, you have acne, you don't feel good, you're not sleeping good, you feel like you have brain fog. I mean, I could go on and on. When your cortisol levels are not regulated, you don't feel good, right? And so my favorite benefit specifically of infrared saunas and red light therapy is the stress factor. It lowers your cortisol levels and in that same time boosts those happy hormones. And this helps regulate our blood sugar levels. It helps regulate our emotions. And when we are regulated with those kinds of hormones that help us think clearly, sleep better, feel better overall, then life is better. We can show up for the people in our lives better, which means better quality of life overall. And so I specifically have felt, Tyler actually pointed this out a couple of weeks ago to me, like, wow, you're just like so chill when things seem to be chaotic now. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm in the sauna all the time.
It's also kind of like meditating because you're in there with your thoughts, and just meditating alone without a sauna can help you control your cortisol levels and handle stress a little bit better too.
And that's the thing is these are private suites. You're kind of closing yourself away and you're forced to be with yourself. We have people who ask us, can you take your phone in there or whatnot? We do have iPads in there with music and Netflix shows. Some people like to tune out, right? But my favorite thing is to put my headphones in, put on some Odessa, like
nice.
can't hear any lyrics. I'm just chilling with music in my mind. And I'm really forced to be in a meditative state, which is great. So yeah, to your point.
Yeah, I think that just doubles it. It's kind of like playing chess in the sauna. It doubles the calories. So it's like you're doubling the cortisol reduction by just being with yourself and really mindfulness, I think is important. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
What's that?
When is this going to air? You can cut this out.
I think Thursday actually. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Should be in 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, announcement to make or?
Well, I'll just kind of piggyback off of that. So to your point with going in there, playing chess, the thing is with the social saunas too, Tyler and I will go in there, close the door. We have kids. So it's great to just go in there and just be like, all right, we got 40 minutes. What do we want to talk about? What's working well for us?
Yeah, like therapy.
What
almost.
do we need? Yeah, it's almost like having a moment of therapy in there. And for Valentine's, we're actually turning all of our saunas into couples saunas so that everybody can come in. It's only going to be $40 for the couple, where normally it's $79 for a social sauna. And it's just really an incredible experience to be able to close the door and not only be with your thoughts, but be with someone else and have that quality time. I think that as a society, we're really lacking in quality time with people because we're so busy.
For sure.
So I love that it kind of forces you to just sit, be there. Even if you don't talk, you're just being present with someone that you care about, which is a really nice thing.
Oh, I love that. Count me and Danielle in for sure.
Yeah, I got you.
And you did mention a man, and he is your fiance, correct?
Yes, Tyler is my fiance.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's something new that we hadn't talked about since last time you were on the show. And I think that's just so cool. And
thank you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you too. Like, I love this type of stuff. I was a big sauna person when I just left Lifetime Fitness, but I was there for 14 years or over how long it's been there. What is an ideal time to hit the infrared sauna, or does it not matter? Does it not matter? Because like for me, like it was always like a post-workout thing for me, just to rehab my muscles after doing whatever kind of workout or a run or something like that. Is there an ideal time to hit the sauna?
Yeah, great question. So this answer depends on what your goal is, really. I know that a lot of people come first thing in the morning because you do get that energy boost, right? Helps with mind clarity, cognitive function, energy production. And so we do have a lot of people that come first thing in the morning for that. And we see a lot of people who come at the end of the day because it does help you sleep. So it depends on what you're looking for. Even if you came early in the day, it would help you get a better night's rest. But some people see it as okay, I'm in here to rest and unwind at the end of my day. And some people see it as, all right, this is going to jumpstart my day. And I do feel like, I'll say that for me personally, I feel energy when I get out of the sauna, even if we do it at night. Like Tyler and I sometimes go do the social sauna at night together. And I'm like, great. Okay, this is great before bed. But then Tyler will be like, you're so chatty after we do this. Because it makes me energized, but it makes him tired. Not tired. I wouldn't say he's tired. It makes him relax, like just more chill. So I think it depends on who you are, remembering that the mind is a very strong thing. So if you set your sights on a specific benefit, like I'm doing this so I can sleep better, you're likely going to sleep better, or if you're like, I'm doing this for energy, then your mind is going to tell your body we're doing this for energy and you're going to have more energy.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm a big massage person too. And I use that time to kind of decompress for the day and kind of just go over like the day, just like a reflection time for me. So I'll usually do it at the end of the day. Again, so I can relax too and then go to bed afterwards because I'm so relaxed after a massage. But I do know like because I do like an intense Chinese massage too. That after that's done.
Those are really intense.
They're super intense and they bend your legs and like
have you ever had them do it on your foot?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I've had them scrape muscles and do all that stuff.
My cousin is a 5-point element acupuncturist and he's studying right now to be a doctor in Chinese medicine. And one time he did my foot and it was like bruised. And he's like, this is how they do it. He's like, I didn't even do it that hard. I'm like, I'm a wuss then.
It is insane, dude. Like it really is exactly what you're talking about. And it works. It works. Like I have a bunch of injuries. I played football. I did weightlifting once upon a time before I started running and going crazy. And so I have a lot of laggard like pains and injuries and probably tears, my rotator cuff and everything. And the things that they do in there, I don't know what they do, but I'll walk out. I feel like I tore my rotator cuff and I need surgery and I'll walk out of there and be good for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Off a scrape. It's painful when they scrape.
Yeah. I know it works. I will say, like, Aaron, if you watch this, it did work.
It's like one of those Theragun things, right? Where it's not what they use probably, but the Theraguns, those are kind of, remember, Rob Decker, right?
Oh yeah.
On his first episode on this show, we did it at his house. It was like maybe the 6th episode ever. After the podcast, he was really excited to use the Theragun on me. And I was like, oh, that's going to be awesome. And I was like, oh, this hurts.
Yeah, I know. My chiropractor's done it. I lift and my, thighs will be like so sore then they'll use the Theragun and I'm like, I'm going to kick you. Like, watch out.
Yeah, same thing with like a foam roller. They all kind of hurt, right?
Yeah.
But like the scraping is essentially they use this tool. It's almost like a hard sponge and they scrape into like your raw and then they scrape it for like another 30 minutes. So imagine like to your raw and then just keep going.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, it's so painful. Eventually just kind of it goes numb a little bit, but it works. And I don't know. I mean, for me, I don't really bruise too much from it. And I look at myself, I'm like, how the heck am I not like 5 layers of skin gone from my body? But it really does work. So I know what you're talking about. And the thing about that, post any massage, they always make sure I'm hydrated because of like the detox of the situation. Is that kind of like, do you guys give packages after people come out of the thing too? Is it kind of like that too? Or do they detox that much where they get something afterwards?
So before they go in, we are very clear 24 ounces of water or more. Because you are going to sweat. One thing that we share, and this is kind of, everybody's different, right? But some people take 25 minutes to start sweating. Some people sweat in 5 minutes. Some people don't sweat till it's 35 minutes in and you got 5 minutes left. And that doesn't mean anything really. Like that's just how your body processes. But the more you come, the faster you sweat. So when I first started going, I was like, wow, I'm not sweating at all. And now it's like, it only takes 10 minutes for me to really start glowing. Right. And so, the more hydrated you are, the better you can detox, the better that your body can handle the heat. And, even though these are lower temperatures, it's just better to be hydrated. So in studio, we sell, that's what's in my cup here. We have, Element electrolyte packets.
Oh yeah.
So if someone comes in, we're asking them like, hey, how much water have you had? Can we enhance your session with an electrolyte package? We also have black water, that sparkling elements that are in there. So we really try to make sure people are hydrated when they're coming in because you need it. You need to be hydrated to be able to do that.
I just started taking Element like on Friday. My birthday was this past Friday.
Happy birthday.
And I've had vertigo this past month or so. And a lot of it has to do with my electrolyte levels as well. And Element it really does help a lot. I was just eating a banana, like 2 bananas a day. And I was like starting to gain weight because all the bananas I was eating. That's a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but they used to use bananas in the military to help folks gain weight. So I was like gaining weight. I was like, what the heck's going on? So I started Element and it worked really well.
Yeah.
You got to use it with a lot more water because it's pretty potent.
It's very salty, but I love our Element in our studio. Personally speaking, Celtic sea salt is the best way to go.
Okay.
It actually has all the minerals and electrolytes you need in it. So, and that's what Element is trying to mimic.
Yeah.
So if you can get your hands on some French or Scottish Celtic sea salt, that's like your best way to go for minerals and electrolytes and all of that.
I think Gary Brackett talks about that actually.
We need to be friends, this guy and I. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And, all of these things are really amazing and they apply to our infrared saunas. And we also have red light therapy. And so red light therapy is a little bit different. So I know we're talking a lot about sweating and, the detox symptoms and all of that. But if that's not your jam, we also have red light therapy. And the difference is red light therapy is just near infrared light waves. Again, that the full spectrum is near, mid, and far. And so when I was talking about near infrared light, I was talking about how it goes into the dermis and epidermis and kind of into those like beginning fat layers in the body too. But really, the red light therapy is really helpful for a lot of things in contrast to the sauna, although they have some things that are beneficial in the same ways. And so if you're not into sweating, you're like, I'm not sure about this detox thing they're talking about, but you do want to dip your toes into light therapy. Red light is all the rave lately, right? And, I don't know if you guys are on TikTok. I'm not a TikToker, but we hear this a lot where people are like, oh yeah, I see these masks on TikTok. Well, buying a red light therapy mask from Amazon, not going to be the thing you need, right? So typically that's not going to be medical grade and you're probably just getting red light bulbs, right? Instead
Maybe
of
just a filter over it or something.
Yeah, totally. And so with red light therapy, this is really amazing for skin. I mean, it helps with eczema, rosacea, melasma, acne, evening your skin tone. If you have skin spots, fine lines, wrinkles, it's scientifically proven and backed to help collagen production and with elastin. So it's kind of like that anti-aging that everybody loves. Really amazing for mood, cognitive function. This is awesome for, helping also with ATP and also helping with that mitochondria, but you're not in a sauna where it's 135 degrees. The light is warm, kind of feels like you're laying out on a summer day, minus any light waves that are not good for your skin. But we have a lot of members who come in and they'll have the unlimited package, which is the best deal. Right now it's $199, and I will tell you our prices are going up to over $200 here shortly within the quarter. And so for $199, you can get unlimited. You can come into the studio as much as you want. And a lot of our members will do red light and sauna on the same day, or they'll flip flop them. Like this, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll do the sauna. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I'll do red light therapy. In my opinion, that's the best way to do it, is kind of flip flop them. But red light therapy is really awesome too. And for someone who maybe doesn't want to go all the way with the sauna and with the sweat and the detox piece there. Truly though, they feel amazing. So I don't know why someone wouldn't.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the unlimited, right?
Yeah, if you have the unlimited. And we also have light packages where you can purchase, 6, 8, 20, and you can get, a package of them and try. And for the month of January, we have an $89 unlimited week. So you can try an unlimited membership for a week with no risk. And then you can come in as much as you want in that week and see the benefits for yourself because they do happen quite quickly.
What are the hours there too? If someone's coming in, I mean, obviously everybody's got different hours, right? So what's the hours for folks can come in?
Yeah, we actually open at 7 a.m. Monday through Thursday, or 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sunday, 10 to 4. So we're open a lot of hours.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of medical professionals, teachers, people who have corporate jobs, and they'll come in those early 7 o'clock sauna sessions to get their sauna in. We actually have complimentary showers on site too. So rain head showers, they're really nice, beautiful. Nice. We have everything you need toiletry wise for that. So we'll have people come in, do their sauna session, and then jump in the shower and get ready for work or wherever they're going.
That's awesome. And you mentioned the $89 unlimited package for a week, right? Is that and then next month you said something about a Valentine's Day package for couples as well. Like, did you say $49 for that as well?
It's $40 for a couple to come in on Valentine's Day. And I guarantee as soon as this is the first I'm talking about it.
Nice.
So I guarantee the moment we start marketing that and promoting that, it'll fill up quickly because we only have 10 saunas in the studio. Yeah. So, we'll have it available for the afternoon. But it's going to be a great day because I'm planning it. So right now, all of January, $89 Light Pass for a week, unlimited week. And then February, we'll move into that Valentine's Day special.
Oh, this has been so insightful. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us so much knowledge, first and foremost, because there's a lot to this that I didn't even know. And I felt like I knew a lot about a lot of these alternative different types of things that folks are doing to help themselves for longevity, for their health. It's just so cool to see you in this new space. So congratulations.
Yeah.
That's your camera right there. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find us at beamlightsauna.com. You can find us in the Highland shops across from Dave & Buster's, and we are 9265 Highland Ridge Heights. Or you can give us a call, 719-249-3330, and our team can get you booked.
Yeah, and we love that Briargate area. That's kind of the area I grew up. So Pine Creek, Briargate area is an awesome area. So
we were just at Dave & Buster's. So
yeah, that was right by you too, right?
Yeah, it's in the same parking lot.
Oh, nice. So it's probably those shops that you're saying, why don't they have these filled up yet?
Yeah, I was looking, I was like, what they developing over here? Yeah. It's just so cool to see that area kind of grow up and beyond, of course, the shops, because the shops are amazing. But now there's new spaces going up, Chewy's and all these different things in that space. So don't forget to check those spaces out because there's a lot of things going out in Briargate. So Elise, thank you so much for coming on again. This is always a good time with you. You're welcome back anytime for sure.
Thanks for doing the blue light therapy with us.
Yeah. I love it.
That's a new podcast name for sure. All right. Well, this is the COS Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next one.